Let's talk about the Yoruba warrior who lost his 5 sons in one day in the 17th century. In the 17th century, there was an established custom that every royal prince, Arole, must be executed alongside his father immediately a king got demised. This custom was established because it was discovered that a lot of royal princes executed their father for them to ascend the throne. This custom is being practiced during the reign of the 22nd Alaafin of Oyo, Alaafin Ojigi. Alaafin Ojigi's son was also executed alongside his father because he was the one behind the suicidal act of Alaafin Ojigi. This custom makes them believe that once a royal prince is being executed alongside his father, it will serve as a caution to the succeeding king and his royal prince, and the king will live longer. So many years later, something happened during the 36th Alaafin of Oyo, Alaafin Atiba. Alaafin Atiba appointed a field marshal, Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, whose name was Kunmi. In those days, the tradition said the king and the field marshal, Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, cannot stay in the same kingdom. Ààrẹ Kunmi was assigned to reside at Ijayi, where he was given the power to rule over the people of Ijayi. A day comes when Alaafin Atiba called the attention of the king and the lord of the neighboring town, and the meeting was held in the king's palace. Balogun Ibikunle, the lord of Ibadan land, was present at the meeting, and some other prominent Yoruba kings like Timi of Ede and Kunmi himself. When they were all seated, Alaafin Atiba came down from his throne, holding the sword of Ogun, the Yoruba god of iron, on his right hand, and the bolt of Sango, the Yoruba god of lightning and thunder, on his left hand, telling them that he wanted to change the tradition, that the moment he got demised, his son Aramadolu should be the one to ascend the throne, and he must not be executed. It was like Alaafin Atiba was not joking at all, because it was not an opinion, it's a command. He asked them to swear with the sword and the bolt on his hand. Every other king has no choice than to abide to the rules and the regulation of Alaafin Atiba. But something happened. Kunmi stood up immediately and disagreed with the changing of tradition from Alaafin Atiba. Kunmi reminded Alaafin Atiba the tradition they've been maintaining years back. Kunmi said, Awu Kábíyèsí, afabẹ́fá orí igun, afabẹ́fá orí àkàlà, wá dórí àti òru àwa lábẹ́ òmùmọ́. Kábíyèsí, ibi òjò, bá ṣe bẹ̀rù làbọ́mọ. Kunmi says, since the tradition has been applied to the preceding king, it must also be applied to Alaafin Atiba. The other kings were shocked. They moved closer to Kunmi, tried to persuade him to comply with the Alaafin Atiba decision, but Kunmi disagreed. The moment Kunmi realized that everyone was not seeing things in his own perspective, he angrily walked out and headed to Ijayi. The other king and chiefs went back to their various towns to inform their people the latest developments. Balogun Ibikunle also took back the news to Ibadan. When he was unveiling the news to his chiefs, one of his chiefs named Basharu Ogunmola took up the matter, and he suggested to wage war against Kunmi in Ijayi. Not just because of the outcome of the meeting with Alaafin Atiba, but Basharu Ogunmola and Kunmi has been having an unsolved issue pertaining to the allegation laid by Kunmi that Basharu Ogunmola and his wife are having affairs together. As a form of revenge, Basharu Ogunmola decided to wage war against Kunmi. Alaafin Atiba later sent some people to Ijayi to meet with Kunmi. Maybe he has changed his mind, but Kunmi sent them back to Alaafin, telling them that he will never change his mind. The moment Alaafin Atiba realized that Kunmi does not have it in mind to change, he called 2 of his messengers, giving them 2 calabash, one containing status pair of twins. In Yoruba symbol, it means peace. The second calabash containing gunpowder. In the Yoruba symbol, it means war. And he sends them to deliver it to Kunmi. Immediately the message got to Kunmi. Kunmi immediately picked the one with gunpowder. I know you might be thinking that why does Kunmi pick the gunpowder? Don't forget, Kunmi was a field marshal, Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. He would like to show the supremacy of his own territory by opposing the decision of Alaafin Atiba. With immediate effect, Kunmi summoned his warrior and he called his chief warrior, Balogun Ibikunle, to start preparing for war. This period of time, both the Oyo warriors and the Ibadan warriors were in alliance. This means Kunmi will be fighting both the Oyo and Ibadan at the same time. Kunmi could not waste time anymore. He rushed down to consult the oracle Ifa. Guess what? Ifa told Kunmi not to involve himself in any war, especially with the Ibadans. And if he does, he's going to lose the war. Kunmi was angrily surprised with the oracle response. and he pestered the oracle to tell him what to do to win the war. Ifa told Kuromi that he's left with just one option for him to win the war. Ifa told Kuromi that the river boundary between Ijaye and Ibadan has been forbidden for him to cross, and no matter how tough the war was, he must not cross the river. On the other side, the Basharu Mola of Ibadan and his warrior were also preparing for the same war. They went to possess a powerful charm in Egba. The Egba traditionalists gave them a charm called Edi. Let's talk about Edi. Edi is a spiritual charm that causes someone or group of people to ignore and to dare certain warning given to them. The Egba traditionalists instructed Basharu Ogumola to place the spiritual charm at the river boundary between Ijaye and Ibadan, so that Kuromi will ignore the warning given to him by Ifa. In those days, the children of a warrior are also entitled to become a warrior, especially the male children. That was the reason why Kuromi's 5th son was sent to war front with Basharu Ogumola. Fortunately, Kuromi warrior defeated the Ogumola warriors, and the remaining Ibadan warriors fled back through the river boundary. Kuromi warriors were chasing them with a joyful and a happy mind, thinking they've already won the war, forgetting the instruction given to them by Ifa not to cross the river boundary. Unfortunately for them, they crossed the river boundary and they fall into the potency of Edi, the charm laid by the Ogumola warriors. Immediately they crossed the river, their own personal charm began to fail them. Kuromi warriors are getting weaker, while the remaining Ogumola warriors are overpowering them. They executed almost all the Kuromi warriors, including his 5th son, in just one day. After the remaining Kuromi warriors fled back to Ijaye, Kuromi was not happy at all. Basharu Ogumola also was not happy because he also lost his warrior. He sent back message to Kuromi telling him that soon he's still coming for his head. When the message got to Kuromi, he was very devastated, thinking of how his family got lost, got wiped out in just one day. Some source said Kuromi died of suicide poison and was thrown into the river boundary of Ijaye and Ibadan. Some source also said Kuromi committed suicide by jumping into the river himself. But in respect of how Kuromi died, the question is that, does Kuromi die for tradition, or he should have complied with Alaafin Atiba's decision? Drop your comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and let me know your opinion. It's your guy, Sandra.